Okay, Penny Snipers, we're back today with one of my favorites. This is ENDV OTC. It was sitting around 4 cents for quite a while. It dropped back down earlier this year, settled out around 2, and then recently dropped way down to 008, and has recently seen a resurgence and jumped back up and had a recent high of closed at 229 this end of the Friday, and the outstanding share was 194 and recently experienced a slight increase in the restricted shares and now has 219 million shares. The unrestricted is 76.6 million. That has not changed. So there's only 76 million tradable shares, which is quite low, with a float of 63.35 million. So it's really tight. There is a due diligence package prepared by the penny stock snipers, who has made contact with the company that explains a lot about the 3-year shutdown during COVID and the restructuring of the company to split into a medical division and a construction division, and then the eventual split into 2 companies. Now, going through this due diligence package, there's a lot of information they can impart on the company, who they are, what they're doing, the product, and it's available widely online. And I would advise, taking a look on Twitter. There's a great Discord you can join. The Penny Stock Snipers, of course, we promote that highly. Please come join us. You can join us right off this channel. There's links to this here. So upcoming catalysts, they have a go-to-market initiative really soon. They're aggressively going to market worldwide. They're launching the product. They're going to do direct-to-consumer sales. They're doing telemarket sales. They expect to get new FDA clearance in Taiwan. They expect to have 100 million in sales by 2024. They're going to split the company off. They expect to go to NASDAQ next year. They have LOIs coming. They're doing a roll-up strategy for the new high-revenue construction division. This is going into 2 companies, which is really unique. That the stock was sitting down at like 1/100th of its previous value. Has a potential to run back to where it was, but they're actually going to split the company off into 2 complete different companies. You're going to get assets in both of them and potentially could run both up there. And they have already stated they have goals to take the medical side straight to NASDAQ. So some of the acquisitions you can see are coming across the screen. They've already signed an acquisition agreement for Western Concrete. They have 2 more in the works, which they're hopefully going to announce soon. They've got the go-to-market initiative. They have a telehealth initiative. They've got an agreement working with NAMSA to utilize the health. We talked about the medical IP. You can keep going through this on and on, but let's move on. So if we go to the OTC market, you can see one thing I want to point out is back in March of earlier this year, a big development for the company was when they hired Gary Kahn. Now, a lot of people might have just glossed over this, but I looked at this really closely back in March, and I was like, I wonder what this is. And looking into Gary Michael Kahn, Michael Kahn is founding partner of Firebird Partners, and Firebird, if you read who they are, they're a massive corporation, and they've done over $7 billion in mergers and acquisitions with 30 years of finance. Now, you don't get involved with somebody like that unless you're planning on doing some pretty serious business. So when you see them hire like that, and then shortly after they hire Ira Wesberg as president to take off over the medical division, and he's done about $750 million in medical asset work. And now you can see here they're going for Department of Defense contracts. They've already previously had dealings with the VA hospitals. So they've already got some connections there, and they're talking to registered small businesses with veteran-owned firms. So there's some great information online as well, on their TPMF assets. There's a lot of studies and clinical research out there. There's actually been over $70 million spent on the development and clinical researches on this asset. over the years. So this is an extremely well developed and thought forward asset. There's clinical evidence of 72% reduction in sacral ulcers, 700% reduction in swelling, 69% acceleration tendon, 59%, 40%, 80%, 60%. And this is all like proven with doctors and studies. It's been in scientific magazines. And this has been proven. The problem is this was just starting to be launched in 2018, 19, and just starting to catch hold, and then boom, COVID hits. And, the sales force dies off and gets disseminated, and, the company has to shut down, and, basically they almost closed up completely. So Alan had to make a decision, and he says, hey, look, do I shut down the shop or do I bring in experts to do it the right way? And he brings in Gary to restructure the company, and Gary's like one of the top restructuring guys in the world, and he brings in Ira Weisberg, who's one of the top, medical reimbursement guys in the world. You can go check out their website, and he says, let's bring this, wonderful product to the people. So let's go check out, Endonova Therapeutics Twitter, and we can take a look at their Twitter here, and you can see, it just came alive after 3 years again, back in mid-December. So you can see they're in the full launch mode, and 4 decades of healthcare experience in pharmaceutical management. He's been CEO at Amherst Pharmaceuticals, Neurotrope Bioscience, got a ton of experience in the field. This is the kind of guy you want leading the charge. Specialty product valued at $500 million, brought the company to value of $750 million. Bringing this guy on board was the right move. They talk about their shutdown and previous business model. They've repositioned. They're adding a new high revenue stream. They started rehiring. They're going to there's their telehealth initiative on their Twitter. Seems like they announced their spinoff. Seems like they're making all the right moves. They talk about significantly reducing pain. Some of the stuff they're posting, ankle sprains in college athletes. It seems like a pretty active Twitter account. I like what they're doing. Hopefully we see more from these guys. One of the things I like to say about companies like this is we are the penny stock snipers. So when we find these, emerging growth companies, when they're coming back from, the bottom, you find a company that has a ton of assets, a ton of value. They've gone out, they've hired the right team, big time management. They have a big time product, but their stock is extremely highly depressed. But they have huge goals. They're talking NASDAQ. They're splitting the company. They're going, hey, we're going all in. We're doing all the right things, and you have this huge opportunity. And then, they've got the proof to back it up. They've got the clinical studies. They've got the doctors on their sides. This is the kind of company that I'm willing to take a risk in. I'm going to say, I have a big position in this company. They are going to be well supported. We're going to put them on a call on our Discord at a later date. Shout out to ENDV. Let's go.